I understand if you're feeling a little betrayed right now. This is clearly a standard DualShock 4 controller, but hold on a minute, because the way that I'm gonna use it today is totally different from what you've seen before. The thing is, if analog sticks were actually good for precision control, we would find them on things like cars, bicycles, and lawnmowers. And if they're being honest, even the most hardcore controller fanboys have to admit that there's a reason that they get the assists while keyboard and mouse players are expected to actually aim at their targets. But what's this? A controller that's also a mouse? Meet JoyShockMapper, the software that turns a DualShock 4, Switch Pro controller, or even a Joy-Con into a handheld mouse that's gonna have you pwning noobs in no time. Just like I'm gonna pwn this segue to our sponsor. Ridge Wallet wants to redefine the wallet with its compact frame and RFID blocking plates. Check out how they can help keep your wallet bulge down, and use our offer code Linus to save 10% and get free worldwide shipping. The purpose of a gyro in one of these is to inform the game system, be it a console or a PC, of the real-time angular velocity of the controller. A controller equipped with 3 gyros, one each for the X, Y, and Z axis, should know to a fairly accurate degree, pun intended, I cracked myself up, its orientation relative to the ground. Now this data can be used for anything from pointing at menu controls like the air mouse I have at home, to immersive gameplay elements like shaking your hands to throw off an enemy, to even something as simple and intuitive as making it so that your character actually jumps a little further if you instinctively lean to the side. But whether it's to do with developers not wanting to implement system-specific features on their cross-platform games, the Xbox One controller has no gyros, so or the stigma that motion control has carried forward from the Wii Kinect era, these capabilities have spent basically an entire console generation being woefully underutilized. That is where JoyShockMapper comes in. It's a free, open source input remapper created by Jibb Smart that acts as a translation layer, converting actions on your controller to keyboard and mouse inputs that any native PC game can understand. Now, you can use it just to play PC games with a controller that don't natively support it, which is already pretty cool. But what we were drawn in by was this demo, showing how mapping the motion sensing gyros in the DualShock 4, rather than the thumbsticks to the mouse inputs, could result in shockingly fluid gameplay. The program lets you assign controller inputs to whatever keyboard and mouse actions you want. So 2 of the gyro axes can be bound to mouse movement, the R2 button can be bound to left mouse click, square for R for reload, and so on and so forth. The game ends up thinking that you're playing with a keyboard and mouse, giving you excellent control over how the game plays because nearly every game uses a keyboard and mouse in the same predictable way. Now the interface is mostly command line, and the program is still very much in development, but it is surprisingly easy to use. A few simple commands and you can be up and running. It also has a neat autoload feature that will grab the correctly named config file depending on which window you have in focus. And if that's not your thing, the tray icon will let you load any of the config files found in the config folder. Now, is it better than a mouse and keyboard? Probably not. But it might be an improvement for controller players moving onto PC for the first time. Enough talking though. David and I are gonna be the guinea pigs, and Nicholas set us up with 2 games to try. Csgo, which is great for precise aim and holding angles on enemies, and Doom for its fast, frantic gunplay. I just knocked over my water bottle, but thankfully it doesn't leak. LGTstore.com. What's jump? Do I not have a jump binding?
Yes, you do.
Oh, there it is.
It's a square?
No, it's left trigger.
What?
Or left. Yeah, wait, where did you learn to game, Nicholas?
No, I said that I did not have time to mess with the bindings.
This is interesting. One of the things the developers came up with, because the right analog stick was kind of sitting doing nothing, was to have it actually control where you look on a more coarse sort of level. So you actually use the right analog stick to snap your viewpoint to where that is in like 360-degree space around you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, actually.
So it's called a flick stick, or?
Yeah.
That's what they call it, yeah. This is way better than I expected it
Really?
to be. You watch like the video done by a developer of a project like this,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh yeah, this is amazing.
Precision control.
Meanwhile, it's all they've done for the last 6 months
Yeah.
is like work on this project and game on it, right? But this is one of those ones where I'm actually sitting down in front of it and going like, oh wow, this is actually kind of usable.
How would you compare it to using a controller for precision, like just a regular controller?
Oh, not even close.
Even better?
Yeah, I mean, that I was a little slow there, but I was on his head.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a market for this. Like if enough people tried it, that people would start to want this built into games. Like,
Honestly, I find it like less twitchy.
yeah.
I find it a little bit more, because it feels very one-to-one, like my motion to what happens on screen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're great at this. This is amazing. Oh, come on, come on.
Oh, I didn't see him. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
Legitimately find this a lot easier.
I was expecting it to be a joke. Like, it'd be like kind of fun and gimmicky for a minute, but then it'd be like, okay, give me my mouse and keyboard back.
It's supplementary though. Like that's the thing. Hey, got him.
You did it.
All
First
right,
place.
you ready?
Well, I kind of like it where it's a good practice for jiggle peeking, where you're kind of pre-aiming, you're placing your crosshair, and then you use the left stick to pop in and out, and you're just doing precision. Yeah, I find the range of motion is still pretty small. I kind of wish it's like there would be a way to be more precise just by having more.
If you had acceleration on it though,
It'd
you'd
be
lose
way
the
worse.
precision.
Totally. Yeah, you're right. I don't want acceleration.
Yeah, so that's tough. I don't have like a good solution to that. I guess you could turn mouse acceleration on technically in game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Yeah.
That would be literally the worst thing ever. You know what's funny is I bet as a controller player,
Yeah.
this is probably harder for you than it is for me to adapt to.
I think so, and part of it is that like the buttons are a little bit off. Like right
Right.
there, I jumped.
Yeah.
But intuitively, that's like the aim down the sights button in most games.
Right.
And so that's what my brain wanted to do, but
And
obviously
your
it
instinct
backfired.
is to look for your right analog stick when you're aiming at something.
Totally, yeah.
You know, Destin from Smarter Every Day actually did a great video about this a number of years ago, where he had a bicycle that was designed with an extra gear so that when you move the handlebars left, the bicycle actually goes right. And he basically talked about how hardwired your brain is to do things a certain way, and how for someone who doesn't know how to do it in the first place, it's actually a lot easier to get off that path and learn a new thing.
Oh,
There's one. There's two! He is sniping with a controller and no aim assist, ladies and gentlemen!
it's definitely still working against my natural instinct a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh gosh. I can't do it. Oh no. Okay, cool. Calm down, David. Freaking out.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Okay, one more try, and then we can call it kids.
Right in the ball sack. That one really was right in the ball
I
sack.
can't do it. I can't do it. No.
No!
Shamana. Oh no. I can't do it. I give up. Okay, that's it.
Here's the thing. You might have noticed we opted for the DualShock 4 instead of the Switch Pro controller. Not all gyros are created equally. So Nintendo's controllers only pull at 60 times per second. But that's why we're actually using a wire here. This one actually pulls at 250 hertz
That's not bad.
when you're plugged in with a wire. So that's why it actually feels really responsive. 250 hertz is enough to be basically imperceptible, even to a professional gamer.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of readjustment where I have to not immediately reach for the right stick, but also be ready to hit it, because
So that's called flick stick, this system where you kind of push the direction that you want to be looking.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is I was just thinking about this too. As a VR player, I tend to think about moving my character with that kind of an action and orienting that way already.
That's totally fair. Yeah, this is kind of like VR, where it's like, oh yeah, you have set position, teleport.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not that I'm a better gamer than David. I just might have had a predisposition to being quicker to pick this up than him.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what it'd be like with a regular controller versus this and see how that goes.
All right, why don't we try Doom?
I'm super into it.
Okay. I definitely find in a faster paced game like this, I'm a little bit more affected by the gyro just sort of like drift, like once I reach the outer bounds of it, like I kind of have to
reset.
Yeah, with Counter-Strike, kind of like reloading during a time when there's not much action, I kind of have time to play around with the gyro when I need to.
I think the tracking's better than a stick. Like, obviously there's esports pros that use controllers that they can track better than I can use a mouse, but for regular people, like the tracking is really good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think after a weekend of practicing this, the David of the future could beat the David of the past.
Depending on how heavy the aim assist is in the game that we're talking about.
That's true. And it depends on the game too. I think CSGO is a pretty good game for this configuration where you can stop, precision aim, and get it. And you can kind of take a second when you reload and take cover to reset and do all that stuff. Doom, I don't know. Doom seems like it would be a little bit harder.
Yep, good call. For a little bit of background, JoyShockMapper uses JoyShock Library, an open source library for developers that's intended to make it as easy to use PS4 and Switch controllers as it is to use Xbox controllers. While it's still in early development, there is a decent number of games that have config files that are made by community members or by the developer to get you started, and you can create your own. So all you need is the documentation available on the Gyro Wiki and a text editor to make a mapping for your favorite game. It's a really neat piece of software with some awesome functionality, and even just as an air mouse, it's pretty cool to use. You just need one of those clip-on keyboards for the controller, and you've got a great couch PC control setup. By the way, a big thank you to Jibb Smart for helping with some bug fixes and creating this tool in the first place. If you guys liked this, go check out some of the videos Jibb Smart created about it. If you like our videos on unusual controllers, maybe check out our video on the Xbox Adaptive Controller, and make sure you are subscribed because we have a portable Wii build that's coming up pretty soon that's going to be absolutely sick, just like my sick transitions to our sponsors. Private Internet Access is a tool that masks your IP address and encrypts traffic to and from your devices. Combined with private browsing tools and safe browsing best practices, it can even make savvy websites think that you are somewhere else. PIA offers reliable service with over 3,000 servers in more than 30 countries, and they've got no bandwidth caps on their service. You can configure your encryption, the internet kill switch prevents data from leaking if you're involuntarily disconnected, and Mace will block requests to known malware and tracking domains altogether. So why wait? Try it out risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. They've got clients for Windows, macOS, Android, iOS, and Linux, and you can connect up to 10 devices at once on a single account. We'll have it linked down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We had a lot of fun making it. I actually had more fun making it than I thought I would.
Well, yeah, motion controls just suck.
Except when they
this
don't.
one, yeah.